Okay, so here it is written white's pawn and queen can check. So white's pawn which can check. I think it's this one because there are one, sorry, one is this pawn, one is this pawn, and one is this pawn. It can check. Which one can check? So I think only this one can check, right? Only this particular one can check. So I have created the entire game, recreated the entire game on this board editor below, and the pawn that can check in the next move is this one, right? Is this one. And if we look above, it says queen can also check. So white's queen, where is white's queen? Okay, so there is a mistake in the game that I've created. I've created two queens, right? Both of them are black. So actually in the diagram above, this is the white queen. So let me put the white queen. It's actually white queen here. So the queen can check in the next move. So if the queen wants to check, it can either capture this rook here and then check the king, or it can go diagonally and then check the king, or it can go here and check the king, right? So the possible moves for queen, next possible move for queen such that it can check the black king is either capturing the rook to the right or move diagonally below one step and then vertically below two steps. And in all of those three moves, it is in a position that it is like the black king is under check from the white queen. But only one of them mates. Which one? Okay. So let's, if I, first of all, white that can, if I take the pawn one step ahead, pawn has two possible moves here. Either it can capture diagonally this one, or it can move one step ahead vertically, or it can capture or move one step ahead vertically. So if I move this one step ahead vertically, this position is then protected by this white queen, right? King is under attack, so king is in check, and whoever, so to evade this check, evade this attack, if black in the next move can capture this, that's one possibility. But whoever moves here to capture, right? So it can either capture with the king, but that's not a move allowed because the next position that king will move to is also under attack. So this cannot be done. Another possibility is for black to take this pawn with this rook, black rook, and if it takes that, king is again under attack because this is actually pinned, right? This black rook is actually pinned because if it moves, it puts, suppose it takes this, then it puts black king directly under attack with the queen. So that is not a move, that is not a legal move. So the pawn cannot be captured by either the king or the rook. There is no other black piece that directly captures the pawn in the next move. So capturing this pawn is not an option. There is nothing in between the pawn, white pawn, and the black king. So there is no possibility that I can bring some other black piece into their line of attack in between them. That's not a possibility here. And is there any move then for the king to make so that it is not in the line of attack? King is actually blocked here and king is blocked here, and we saw that capture is not a good move, like it's not a legal move. So basically the king cannot be moved anywhere that takes it away from the line of attack of white pawn. So if the pawn white pawn puts the king under check by this move, it is actually a checkmate. So pawn is definitely a checkmate. Now let's talk. The question has already said only one of them mates, and we saw that pawn mate. So the answer is definitely pawn. But I also want to check uh, how the queen's move will go. So this queen here, it can take three moves to put the black king under check. One is to the right, captures the rook, sorry, and then puts the king under check. Then one move diagonally below, one step, and then put the king under check. And then two moves vertically down, so it puts the king under check. So if the black queen captures the rook on the right, it is not protected by any white piece, and it can be captured by the king here. And the king is not under any line of attack, so that's not a checkmate. Alternatively, if the white queen moves diagonally one step below, again it puts the black king under check, but it can either be captured by this black rook, because again this white queen is not protected by any white piece right now. So either the rook can take it or the king can take it, and be they would not be under any line of direct attack. Third move was this white queen to move vertically to step down and then put this black king under attack. Uh, in this case, this white queen cannot be captured by any black piece right now, because the king can only move one step, and uh, rook can only move vertically down or vertically um, left here, and no other black piece is attacking this white queen. Uh, so to evade this attack, um, killing this white queen here, capturing this white queen is not an option. So there is one empty square between uh, this white queen and the black king, which is this one. And this, if it's possible for any other black piece to bring between this white queen and black king, such that um, it lies between the line of attack. So actually, the black rook can be put here in the next move. So now um, the king is not under direct attack by the white queen, and so that check is basically evaded. So in all of the three possible moves for white queen to put black king under check, they are all possible to evade. So white queen will not be able to checkmate. So answer is the pawn, right? So pawn moves as like, let me play this again. So white pawn moves here and then puts black king under check. There's no way to capture it because it is protected by this. There's no empty square between those, and king does not have any move such that it can evade the line of attack. So that's a checkmate. Now I'm going to give my answer to this question, which is going to be, this is the pawn and not the queen. Thank you.